Okay, hi guys. Today we are going to be choosing my favorite TBR from the TBR jar. So I have here the jar. There are 10 prompts in here. 5 of them I wrote myself, but 5 of them are a surprise for me as well because my sister wrote them. And we're going to be choosing 5, I think. Maybe 6, depends on the length of the books that I pick. But I want to have like a fair amount of books that I know what I want to read, but not so many that I can't mood read if I feel like it throughout the month, if it makes sense. I feel like I normally read around 10 books per month, so that's why I feel like 5 or 6 it's a good amount of books to pick from it. So first and foremost, we are going to be choosing from both my physical TBR and my Kindle TBR, to call it something. So the books that are my physical TBR, I'm just going to tell you about them because there are only 7 books that I own that I haven't read. I did a really good job on the last 2 years, during the last 2 years, to read everything from my shelves, or mostly everything, because I think I reached a point where I had almost 100 books unread on my shelves. And I did a really good job of not buying so many and reading what I had. But now I feel like maybe I did too much of a good job. Like maybe I'd like to have more options physically in my room to read. It's true that ever since I got my Kindle, I don't really have to grab a physical book. That also helped to lower my TBR. I didn't have to buy as many in order to read as I usually do. But still, I mean, we are going to pick some books from my physical TBR probably, but yeah, it's not gonna be all of them. These 7, and yeah, so really quickly, I'm just going to tell you what they are and what they're about, and maybe the reason that I haven't read them yet. So the first here is The House on the Cerulean Sea, but in Italian. So it's called La Casa sul Mare Celeste by T.J. Klune. And I bought this while I was living in Italy. I have not read it because I'm so intimidated by the fact that it's in Italian. And I know Italian, but I don't know if it's good enough to read a book that I haven't read before. Like maybe I would reread a book in Italian, but do I want to read a whole new book? I don't know. So yeah, La Casa sul Mare Celeste by T.J. Klune. It's about an orphanage and a guy that works for the company, I think they call it, and he goes to check out this orphanage and the children in it have powers, something like that. And then I have this duology. It's they're big, oh my god. So the house We Hand the Flame and We Free the Stars by, how's she called, Hafsa Faisal. I hope I pronounced that right. So I bought this years and years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and I haven't gotten around to reading them. I've attempted the first one twice, but I never get more than 3 chapters in, and I really want to get to them, but I don't know why. I just haven't, and the longer that they are on my shelves, the less that I feel like picking them up. So yeah. Okay, the one that committed suicide is A Man Called Off. This is the newest addition to my shelves. I got this one for Christmas. By Frederick Backman, and that's the reason that I haven't read it yet. I just got it. And yeah, it's about an old man, and I think he wants to kill himself, but every time he tries, something happens that prevents him from killing himself. And yeah, there's a movie out. I really want to see it, but I want to read the book first, and I really want to read something by Frederick Backman. So I want to pick this one. So let's see if I can. And then I have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love this author. I've read everything except this book by her, I think, and I'm really excited for it. I just haven't read it because I tried to space them out, and the last time that I got books by her, it was in August, and I bought 2. So I read one of them at the end of last year, and I wanted to pace myself with the next, and that's the only reason that I haven't read this yet. But I feel like this could be a good moment for it. And then I have Another Country by James Baldwin. This is the author of Giovanni's Rome. I read it 2 years ago in the summer of 2023, and I really liked it. So for 2024, for Christmas, I bought this book. And I've not been in the mood for a classic since last year in Christmas. So let's see if I can get to it sometime this year, because I really liked his writing and everything. I just haven't been in the mood for a classic. And the last book, and this one I know I'm not going to pick, but I'll show it to you. It's short stories, like vampire short stories by classic authors. I read some of them It has little string here to use as a... How you call marcapáginas? How do you say marcapáginas in English? I don't know. I'm not remembering right now. So I read some. I'm this far in the book. Not very. But yeah, I started it 2 years ago. I read the ones that I've read, like I got as far as you can see here, because there was a short story by Bram Stoker. So I was like, okay, I'll read the short story and then I'll read Dracula and then I'll get back to this. And I never got back to this. I did read Dracula, I just never got back to this one. And then I have a bunch of books on my Kindle. We are not gonna go through my Kindle TBR. I just thought that I would go through my physical TBR, just so you know, because I have so few books. So let's pick a prompt, shall we? I'm going to do this as blindly as possible. Okay. So the first one is by my sister, longest book. Longest book, fuck. Longest book. Okay, in my physical TBR, that would be We Hand the Flame. But I don't know because I have a lot of books on my Kindle. Let me check real quick. Okay, so I checked, and on my Kindle I have the Order and Chaos series. The first one is A Court This Cruel and Lonely, and that book has 570 pages. So it beats We Hand the Flame for over 100 pages. So that's the one that I'm gonna be picking, and I'm actually really excited for that one. So I'm happy how things turned out. Okay, so that's the first prompt. Let's see if I can move on faster because I need to leave my house. Okay, another prompt by my sister, and this one says, book with the prettiest cover. Okay. From my physical TBR, I feel like maybe this one has the prettiest cover. I don't know, I really like the drawing and the colors and everything, but intimidated as fuck by it, remember? So, let's see what I have on my Kindle. Okay, I didn't remember that I had this here, but I have... Let's see if I can show you a cover. Wait. Okay, I have this book, I don't know if you can see, it's called House of Bane and Blood. And the cover, I'm gonna put a picture, because this one is black and white as well, so I'm gonna put a picture. But it's a serpent, and it's gold and black and everything, and I think that it's really, really pretty. And it's a duology, and it's completed, and what I know about it, like what made me download it on my Kindle, is that it's inspired on Peaky Blinders, and I love that TV show. So I think we're going to be picking that one as well. Okay, let's see if I can pick one that I wrote myself. Oh, another one by her. I know that they are by her because she wrote them with purple pen. So a book that you think that's overhyped, fuck her, honestly. A book that I feel like it's overhyped. Wow. I don't really know. I don't think any of the books that I own are overhyped. And from my Kindle, the only book that I think could maybe fit this prompt from the ones that I have on my Kindle is the Magnolia Parks series, but I read the first this month and I loved it. So I thought that they were overhyped when I read the first. I am curious though about how this story requires 3 books. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of scared that it's going to drag in order to have 3 books, and the Daisy hates as well. The Daisy hates books as well. So I don't know, but it's a stretch, but I don't really have anything else here that I feel like is overhyped. I tend to choose my reads very carefully and mindfully. So I'm not one that would put something on here or buy something if I feel like it's overhyped. We're gonna leave it with Magnolia Parks, and I will continue with the series throughout February. And I thought that they were overhyped when I read the first, but I've read the first and I've been proved wrong. I really liked it, but I'm scared that it's going to drag along in order to be 3 books for Magnolia and 3 books for Daisy. I don't know if the story requires that many volumes, I don't know. Let's see if I can pick one that I actually wrote myself, for example. Okay, new series or series that you've been putting off reading. This one I wrote myself, and it's me shooting me in the foot. This is the one that I was like, maybe not pick that one. Because series that I've been putting off is really clearly Behind the Flame. But I really don't want to read that. But there's another one that I've been putting off, but not because I don't want to read it, because I've been scared of reading it, but because I know that I'm really going to enjoy it, but I want to pace myself, so I've been putting it off. But I feel like it really fits here, and I have it on my Kindle, and that's the sequel to Zodiac Academy. So I read Zodiac on August. I was obsessed. I finished it the first week of September, something like that. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna pace myself with the prequel and the sequel. And I picked the sequel in November because I just couldn't wait. All throughout October, I was just thinking about when I was going to be able to pick the next series in Zodiac. And then I read the prequel, loved it, and was like, okay, I'm gonna take my time with the sequel, so I don't run out of books. But I really want to read them, so I've been putting them off, but because I want to have my time with it, but I don't think I can. And it's a new series, so it actually fits both things I wrote here, the fact that it's a new series and it's a series that I've been putting off. The sequel of Zodiac, those are the Cage Wolf, Dark Wolf, I don't know. It's called Darkmoor Penitentiary. Okay, and I have those on my Kindle, so it actually works. Let's see. And I think this is going to be the last, because I've been choosing fantasy series, so this is going to be the last one. Okay, new author. This one's easy. I'm going to be reading the one and only Frederick Backman. I'll be choosing A Man Called Off for this one. I'm really excited for it as well. And I wrote that one with this one in mind. So yeah, we're going to be reading A Man Called Off by Frederick Backman, new author for me. Okay, so those are the 5 books that we're going to be reading. So the first prompt was not this one. Longest book, and I chose A Court is Cruel and Lonely. Then it was Prettiest Cover, and I chose House of Pain and Blood. Then book that you think it's overhyped, and even though it's a stretch, I chose the Magnolia Park universe, and I'll be continuing that series throughout February. And then I chose new series or series that I've been putting off, and I chose Darkmoor Penitentiary. And lastly, new author, and this is the only book that I have physically, I chose A Man Called Off by Frederick Backman. So that's my favorite TBR. A lot of series. Oh my god. I read series back to back. I don't really wait and pick another thing. So A Court is Cruel and Lonely is 4 books. Then I have the House of Pain and Blood duology. And then I have the Magnolia Parks, which is, I still have 2 books from Magnolia and 2 books by Daisy, right? Because the 3rd book on the Daisy Hates trilogy is not out yet, I think. So that makes 10. And then Zodiac Academy is 4 books, Darkmoor Penitentiary is 4 books, 14, and Frederick Backman, 15. I don't know that if I'm going to get to all of them. I hope that I will. I do have to study for exams in February, so let's see. But I'm really happy with the options that I have for the month. So yeah, hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and all the things that you're supposed to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!